Yes, sir. We are totally live here on a special Almost Human Live on Kiss Wednesday. And look who we got with us tonight. The one and only Chaim Witz. How you doing, Chaim?
Hello, Almost Human Channel. I've only come here today because I would want to plead with you to pick another topic. There's plenty of great Kiss things to talk about, but please, let's forget about this movie. I'm very ashamed, and so is Paul, and we wish you would talk about anything else. So, what do you say, fellas? Can you pick a different topic for tonight?
Yeah, let's talk about the porn movie you did.
No, 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 no. If anything, we could talk about my book about prostitutes if you like.
Yeah.
And if you will change the topic for tonight, I will send each one of you the Vault Part 2. This
What's in
is a
that?
very limited edition that we will be doing. Well, one thing, you will get my Gene Simmons prostitution book called Ladies of the Night, a historical personal perspective, oldest profession in the world. And I will sign that for you. But there's other goodies that will come in the vault, part two. One of the we have collected all our Paul's socks, all the tube socks that he used to stick in his spandex in the 70s, and we have one for each vault. So you'll get one of them. It will be used. And what other things do we have? We have that box set that Vinnie Vincent had scammed people on. Well, we found where they were all loaded, so we confiscated them, and there'll be one of those box sets in each one of the vaults. A few people will
Wow.
find little toy rockets. There's little toy rockets that maybe one of the members did something with. You'll have to smell it to know if it's an authentic one or not. They
Uh,
might be in there.
oh, ouch.
They-
Uh, and
Who's
this is what I heard. This is extremely limited. And one of those Gene Simmons vaults is going to have Vinnie Vincent's actual penis that he had cut off.
Vinny's
yes,
manhood?
he donated it to us because he felt bad about what happened with the box set debacle. So yes, one lucky winner of the Vault 2 will have the actual manhood of Vinnie Vincent inside. So
Yeah.
please, what do you say now? You have the Vault 2 sent to you. Oh, and one other thing, besides the Gene book, we also have the Tommy Thayer book that has a foreword by our drummer, Eric Singer. It's called How to Become Your Idol. And it hasn't been released yet, but it will be in the vault. So thanks for considering changing the topic tonight. And let's forget about the DDR. Damn it, my dog. It wasn't big. All right. That's it. I gotta clean up this mess that my dog just did.
I'm very impressed with.
Damn, Gene. Is that a dog or is that what you call your one of your bitches?
I'm very impressed. He can talk that way with his tongue out.
I know, man. It's really impressive.
That's a special talent. So
Well, oh
yeah,
well.
can you
Yeah.
see? Can you see if there's anybody in the peanut gallery already?
Not yet. Well, as it is, I got one guy. Yeah, Rutherford's here with us. Yeah,
What's up,
yeah.
Rutherford?
Gene's just sweating that we'll talk about Kiss Meets the Phantom. He's just sweating.
Other than that, they're normal human beings. Devereaux's still alive.
The actor is still alive. Wow,
89 years old. I looked him up today. He's 89
crazy.
years old. And I don't know. Here's a little tidbit about Kiss Me Phantom. I don't know if you guys are aware of. The guy that plays the park owner in Kiss Meets the Phantom, he actually was supposed to be in the very first Godfather and didn't do it, but he did Kiss Meets the Phantom. Now they brought him back on Godfather 2 as a bit part, There's a scene in Godfather 2 where they're about to whack a guy inside a bar, and a cop comes in, and that cop was the mayor. So he was in Godfather 2, but yeah, he was supposed to be in Godfather 1. I don't know if he
That
turned down for the Kiss movie. I don't think so. Because that was
that
where,
guy was a character actor. He was in a lot of films. I've seen him in a lot of stuff and television shows over the years and stuff. Um, and I want to say, wasn't the guy that did Sam? He was on a soap opera or something.
well, that I don't know.
And
Yeah. But I'll tell my story because I found this out through Count Ralphus yesterday. Yesterday was the anniversary of them showing it on TV.
47 years ago, 1978.
So 47 years ago, I was at my friend Eladio Fernandez's house. Both big Kiss fans. Now, he had two TVs, one in his bedroom, one in the living room. The one in his bedroom, we put like a little tape thing there. It's just this thing. It's just a little tape recorder, a little one next to the TV, and we watched it in the living room. That was our VCR. When that shit was done, we had it on audio cassette.
hell yeah.
But I remember, man, loving Kids. They're playing the movie. I'm watching it, and my dad comes and picks me up after the movie. And I remember that drive home. I'm thinking, man, that wasn't good. I didn't quite understand. I was such a young kid at the time, but I was a big Kiss fanatic already, like newly Kiss fanatic. I just been into Kiss maybe 3, 4, 5 months by that point, because I got into them in '78. So this was in October of '78. So yeah, I got into them maybe a little before summer. So, but I was a Kiss freak. But yeah, after that movie, on the drive home, I was like, that wasn't very good. I even knew that as a little kid, where little kids, where you watch crappy stuff, you think they're great. You watch them now, you realize how much they suck. This one had the opposite effect on me. So fast forward 1983, 84, they finally brought it back on the CBS late night movie. And that night, I had to go to a wedding, a family wedding. So I set my VCR for that one. And boy, I ended up loving it way more than I did as a kid because, now I realize it is a bad movie. But it's so campy and stupid and low budget, though they're trying to be high budget. And it's terrible. It is a terrible movie, but it's so bad it's great. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Kiss Meets the Phantom. Ralphus, how did you do? Were you too young to see it when it first showed on TV?
No, no, I showed you when we did the Ace episode. There's a picture of me holding my Ace album in 1978 as an 8-year-old.
Oh, okay.
So I was like the perfect age for this movie. I was a Star Wars fanatic. The manager tried to tell him it was like, the Beatles help movie meets Star Wars. So that's like perfect age for me. I was actually into Kiss, even though I'm a lot younger than you. I was into them in '76, but I didn't have like many albums. I had Kiss Alive 2 was my first one, but before I had that, kids were bringing the albums into school, and we would hear them when it rained at recess time. They would let us play records and stuff. So I remember just looking at them and everything. So when that movie came on, my mom knew that I already was like a fan, so she used to always see what was going on in the TV guide, and she would find monster movies. My dad would pick out monster movies because my dad and my brother, we only had one TV back in the '70s, and my dad and brother watched every sporting event. So when there was like a monster movie, it was like my turn to watch it. So my mom marked down that Kiss Meets the Phantom. Didn't know anything about it, but when it started, I was blown away because at 8 years old, I'd never seen video of Kiss moving. All I ever seen was the pictures. So to see them walking and blowing fire and stuff, and the goofy stuff that was going on in the movie. It blew my mind. I don't remember thinking about what the story was or anything. I mean, there's Frankenstein there, there's the Wolfman, there's the Mummy. I'm all 100% down with that. It's like I knew who those guys were, but seeing like that I remember the scene by the pool, and they're all sitting there, and hearing them talk was weird because I didn't picture like their voices being like, especially Ace's. But then when Gene comes walking over towards on the by the pool, coming around, and he just looks so menacing and like evil. Like I thought that was so cool. That one scene I remember really sticking with me for some reason. But yeah, it was one of those things that when I seen it years later, I was like, holy shit, is this bad? It's so bad, but I still loved it because I had such a great memory of it. It's my first time seeing Kiss move and being alive. And when I could get it on VHS, I got it on VHS, but I still got to get a good, nice, clear copy on DVD. I told you that I tried to find it on YouTube, and you could pretty much piece it together with all the clips that they got out there. But I ended up watching a German version, which was kind of cool too because they had a different soundtrack than the U.S. theater. I mean, U.S. TV premiere. So you had different songs on there, and it just seemed more menacing with it all being in German. It's pretty funny. It's the full thing is up there in German. It was like Attack of the Phantoms. It was called in Europe, where it actually got played in theaters. But yeah, it was a big deal for me to see that because, like I said, it was the first time ever seeing them guys moving because there was no MTV at the time. You didn't see videos or commercials really. I think maybe I might have seen like commercials for like the lunchbox and stuff. I might have seen a couple little quick little things like that, but I had never really seen them moving. So definitely really important movie.
Yeah, I have every version. I used to be friends with this guy. I don't know what happened to him. He was a Kiss fanatic, and he gave me every version of Kiss Attack of the Phantom, whatever it's called, from France, Italy, Germany, every one of them. But my favorite will always be the American one because I love that 70s funk, that Beretta music playing when they're fighting and shit. I don't, I personally don't like listening to that music without visuals. I love that funky music with, action, cheesy action as it may be. But this is the best copy I've come across so far. Some guy released this one. It's called Classic Archives 40th Anniversary Edition. And it looks really good. Really, really good. The quality
And
is
that's the US version.
yeah, it's the US version. Um, I do add that the videotape as well.
Yeah.
Now, I know the guy that made this. I don't remember his name. I don't think I don't even know what happened to him. But anyway, this guy, I did two Kiss documentaries, Larger Than Life and Larger Than Life 2, that are now at BitChute for those that want to see it, because YouTube took them down. Um, he took those and sold them. He made DVDs of my documentaries and sold them, and people thought I was behind it. I was like, that's bullshit. Honestly, if you want to sell them, go right ahead. But don't blame me, especially if you ain't giving me none of the goddamn money. And I'm not this fucking anal guy that'll go after some dude using footage of what I stole from Kiss. You know what I'm saying? I'm also stealing too. So I can't get mad at the guy for selling my shit, but it does irk me that some people thought I was behind it. And I was like, no, man, no, no. But anyway, he's the guy that's behind this. The extras on here totally suck. They're fucking terrible. They ain't even worth watching. It's like Super 8 footage. It's like people that were at the show with a Super 8 camera in 1978. And it's mostly arms in the way. You can barely see the stage, and it's fucking bullshit. But
Oh, the people that were at the concert, you mean?
yeah,
Wow. At Magic Mountain. Okay.
yeah, Magic Mountain. Some guys snuck in with little Super 8 cameras and got footage of not really the band, but mostly the arms and the lighted staircase, you know, of the stage.
Too bad they didn't get like footage of Kiss explaining to them that we're gonna do the song "Hotter Than Hell," but we're gonna call it "Rip and Destroy," and
Yeah,
we need
Oh
you all to
man.
be pissed off. Like it would have been cool to see them announcing that before they
Yeah,
did
because
it.
you know they had a director come out and probably say some stuff like that. Okay, this is what we need you to do, guys. You know.
it was impressive when they were playing "Rip and Destroy." You hear one guy in the crowd go, "Let's tear this place down," and it caused a riot.
I also liked how people were riding the crowd at one point, and they're like overflowing. It looked like a modern day concert at times, you know. Like, yeah, I didn't think people in the '70s were riding the crowd like that and then coming over the barrier, you know.
Oh yeah,
But there was
yeah,
quite a bit of that in there.
yeah. I think that was that a free show. I think it was a free show,
Yeah, it was a free show.
but
Yeah.
They gave away tickets on the radio, like they did a big radio promotion like leading up to it. And I don't know if they were there like all week doing it, you know, because they did the whole movie pretty much at the park there.
yeah. So that did you see it when it premiered, Tony?
Yeah, well, when it premiered, it was a lot of hype about it because there was all these commercials running, and you got to think back to that period. There were three TV networks: ABC, NBC, CBS. So basically, you had three television channels, and then UHF, if you could pull that in. Some people had cable by then, but I didn't know too many people with cable in 1978. So there was a group of church people who were trying to get the local station here in North Carolina not to show the film because Kiss was satanic. So my mom was all in, all about. Well, I heard they're not going to show it because they're satanic and all. So they're trying to get it. But you're not going to watch it, and it's a Saturday. I think it was a Friday. Was it a Friday or a Saturday? I can't
I
remember.
believe it was a Saturday.
It was a Saturday because I didn't go to school that day. I know, but I hung out with my buddy Rich, and we were like, Mom will stay at. I was there that afternoon. Mom will stay at Rich's tonight. She's like, that's cool, whatever. Didn't even think about it was Kiss meets the Phantom night, by then. So of course I watched it over there, which I wouldn't have been able to watch it at home anyway because Dad would have been watching something probably, Lawrence Welk or something. So I wouldn't have been able to get a chance to watch it here anyway. But man, I was blown away with it. I thought it was amazing. And over the years, after seeing it years later, when I was able to, well, actually, you said they started showing it around '84. I remember seeing it late night TV and stuff. And then later, sometime, I guess in the late '80s, this VHS came out here on Good Times Video. And I watch a lot of B movies, so I like stupid, cheesy crap in movies. So just doesn't like fall too far from that tree. I mean, it might top that tree actually, but I'm cool with it. The coolest thing about this is a few years ago, this Kissology, what is this, Volume 2 came out. Um, it's been a while now, 2007, but I had never watched. It's got Kiss Attack of the Phantoms movie. It says 1979 here, so maybe when they did this version, it was 79 before it was released in theaters.
Yeah,
Um,
the European version was released in '79 in theaters.
um, a friend, a friend of mine, we were like, I was telling her about this movie or whatever, and she'd never seen it. She totally missed out on it. And I said, well, we should watch it. I said, it's on the Kissology. Well, honestly, I'd had this for several years and had never watched it on here because I just figured it was the same movie, whatever. I was more interested in seeing the other footage on here. So we put it on, and it was, for me, it was like watching it all like for the first time again, because there were scenes in it I'd never seen before. There was stuff out of sync. There was stuff cut out of it. But all the music, like Ralph was saying, the Beretta music, and it was gone. All the music were song, all the in between bumper music and all was songs from the solo records. That's what they used, and so it was like a whole different version for me to experience for the first time, you know. But yeah, it's it is what it is. It's you know, we Kiss were superheroes to us when we were kids, and so you know, there you go. I mean, that's what they were. I mean,
So I got
it would
that Kissology too, and I felt like I bought it right when it came out, but for some reason it doesn't have that. The only bonus disc it has is them playing at Madison Square Garden on
it's
the
not a
reunion
bonus
tour.
disc, Ralph. It's on disc. It's on disc one. It's just one of the chapters on disc one.
Yeah, it's not the bonus part. It's part of the.
Di- Disc one has Land of Hype and Glory from '78, Kiss Attack of the Phantoms from '79, The Tomorrow
Oh,
Show from '79 is all on disc one. Yeah,
oh.
it's
I
yeah, it's
looked
just
at it
something.
really quick and I didn't see it. I figured it was going to be like an extra disc because it has
You,
the one bonus disc. And I watched Kissology Part One recently. I watched the whole thing right after Ace died, but and I've been meaning to go to watch Kissology Part Two, and I haven't watched it in a real long time. And I would have noticed that that was on there. Damn. Okay.
but
I'm
I
glad I didn't
remember
though, because I liked seeing the German version in here, and there was like 19 Kiss songs in there, and there was like three of the Peter Chris songs on there, and like at first I didn't realize who it was, and then I had to like look at the Peter Chris solo album and go, oh okay, there's every song where the title is the song is gets repeated in the song, so you go, oh this is this song and this. I wrote them all down, but yeah, they all got. I think Ace got like the least amount of songs. It seemed like Gene and Paul and Peter all had more songs. Like they probably wanted to boost their albums more since Ace's was taken off and theirs were all stuck in the mud, kind of.
yeah, I remember this book, seeing this in like going to the drugstore or supermarket or something and seeing this, and I wanted it. My friend Rich got it. His mom bought it for him. So I remember looking through it and just being amazed at the photos in it and stuff. And yeah, I picked this one up. I don't know. I got this one probably. I think I got this at like a Kiss Expo or something years ago.
Yeah, I
But
found
yeah,
that at a horror convention in the '90s. I bought that. I tried to look for it for this episode, but I couldn't. I don't know where the hell I put it. I got it someplace.
you
I
know,
didn't have it as a kid.
I remember going in a shop. And I don't know if I should, maybe I should could have Googled this just to see if it's not my imagination. But I remember being in a store looking at the magazines, because I'd always go over and look at the magazines at rock and roll stuff and I was massively into Star Wars, like just like you, Count. And I remember looking at some magazine that had a headline written on the cover. I think it was "Kiss to star in Star Wars Part 3."
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I, yeah.
They could have been in Jabba's palace, you know, it's
Yeah,
like extra. Or
they could have been the
they could have
band.
been the band plant. Yeah, instead
Yes,
of
I'm
that
saying they could have been the band,
goofy band.
the Laptinic band, whatever they're called.
Yeah, they could have
What was the band called?
the green girl
Yeah,
could be dancing with them.
yeah. That original song that was in that movie, they changed it in the later versions for some reason. I don't know why. They did it with a bunch of crazy shit in Star Wars movies.
Yeah, because they put all the extra like CGI in there, so they probably had to re-record like the music to make it fit better.
The in the Peanut Gallery, Retarded Dwarf says if you put on Phantom of the Park and turn the sound down and play the Elder from the beginning, it's actually better than the Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon.
That's awesome. That's good.
Yeah, but what version of the Elder?
Yeah, which version? Yeah, the original version of the way it's supposed to be.
It should be the original version.
Yeah.
But it'd
Yeah.
be weird hearing fanfare just a boy while they're playing Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should play the one that starts with the oath.
And we got to talk about that opening. God, man, that is so crazy. Where they're playing rock and
Yeah.
roll all night, and and it's like a Ferris wheel and stuff spinning, and
Yeah.
it's showing them walking on those fountains. That is like
Yeah.
hilarious.
Gene's bigger than the roller coaster. He's like a Godzilla.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
can
Yeah,
do the
What I don't understand that even to today, that's not CGI. How did they do that back
blue
then
screen, green
without
screen.
without the CGI?
That
You,
was what that was 1970 CGI. Yeah, the green screen. Yeah, that's the way they did everything back then.
I'd say it didn't look like no green screen. It looked too real to be.
you got to get the 4K of it. The 4K, you'll see the mat and shit. You'll
Yeah, I
see it
believe it.
how
I
fake it
believe.
is.
I still believe today kids can walk on water.
Well, Paul can walk on a laser beam that he shoots out of his eye. He walks down like the
That is
stairs, you
great.
know.
And then
And I
he
like
shoots
now
it out of
they're
his
on like
he
bumper
shoots
car.
yeah.
They're on like bumper cars at one point where it's like the bumper cars cut out like almost like a spaceship flying, and it's like two of them per bumper car, and they're just like trying to be cool, just
Again,
floating around.
again, that's 70s, too realistic. How did they do it?
There's a bootleg CD and a vinyl I believe of the soundtrack to Phantom of the Park, and it's got like the version of it's got like Rip and Destroy, and I guess it's got the version of Beth with the acoustic guitar instead of the piano. And I don't know
Yeah,
if it's I've
that was
never
different.
owned it. I've never not. That's the only things that were really different. Those Rip and Destroy and Beth. Everything else well, I mean the live. I guess they used a live version of I Stole Your Love at the end. I guess that's off alive too, or whatever.
Why
So, but
Why was Peter singing Beth to the girl that's not named Beth in the movie and has nothing to do with it? But it's like they're all sitting around while he sings to her the Beth song. You know,
yeah, and
that's
I
pretty
guess
funny stuff.
that was Peter's the only use of Peter's actual voice in the movie
Yeah,
because they said his voice was overdubbed by the actor who later did like Smurfs and he was on GI Joe and stuff like that.
yeah.
He
Hanna
was a
Barbera
voiceover actor.
voice actor. Yeah, for
Yeah,
Hanna Barbera who put out the movie.
we're just average human beings. He kind of sounded like Barney Rubble at times.
Yeah, it was that thick Brooklyn accent that you couldn't really make it out at the time, you know.
Yeah, well, they said that they wanted him to come back and loop his voice in, redub his voice, but he never showed up. I saw
Yeah,
something. I didn't read it. There was an art. I saw a little headline thing the other day. It was either on YouTube or a Facebook story or something where it was just a picture of Peter and a quote where he says, "Yeah, we had chicks in the trailers and the cooler full of beer and drugs and everything." So while they were filming the movie, supposedly.
I seen Ace interview talking about the movie, and he was saying how loaded him and Peter were throughout the whole movie, and he said one guy that was on the set the whole time had cocaine in his hat, and he would always go back into the trailer with him. And you could watch a funny little clip of Ace talking to a reporter about doing the movie, and the lady was like thinking like he hated being on the set because that the black guy had to replace him for so much of it because he wasn't showing up, but he was just getting loaded. And but he said he had more fun than anybody on the set. He thought it was great, and he really loved the movie. He's like the only one that he said out of the band that thought it was fun, you know, where the rest of the guys were say if you talk about it around them, they'll fire you from the road crew and stuff, you know.
Yeah, there was a clause when you interviewed Gene and Paul after that movie. You couldn't mention the movie. That was the clause. And yeah, I did see Ace say it. He said, that movie's a gas, man. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. And I'm with him, man. I mean, I think it sucks, but it's great too at the same time, you know. It's like it's
Yeah,
kids, man. It's
it's a
kids
The
moment of
whole
its time, a moment in time that is, you know.
at their peak.
It's funny when you hear Paul talk about it though, because Paul thought like they were telling him it was going to be like Star Wars, going to have all these great special effects, but he said none of them could act, and that when they would ask them after they did a scene, did you guys like it? Like the director's asking them, and they'd be like, yeah, okay, we didn't mess up the words, so I guess it's good. Okay, keep it, move on to the next one. And
Yeah,
it
and
seems like they did the whole thing so
they
fast.
feed them the line. And they
Yeah,
say this, and they roll camera. You know, they weren't
yeah,
stuck. It was just by the seat of their pants, you know. You got to think this is a band that was constantly on the road, constantly releasing albums. Now in the middle of making a movie, you know that shit was rushed. It looks
yeah,
rushed. It looks
yeah.
very rushed. You know,
It
Kiss.
looks like it was done in a week. It looks like it was done in 1 week. Like at that park, they never leave the park. There's not one scene in the parking lot or nothing. It's like the
Yeah.
whole movie is the park.
Well, I'm sure the part with Kiss, you know, was done real quick. Probably the rest could take longer because Kiss got to get back on the road or go record an album or something. But yeah, it was it is a gas to look at now. I watched it yesterday. I haven't seen it in a while. It's not something I revisit too much, but yeah, if a few years goes by, I usually buckle and say, you know, man, let me watch that shitty movie, man, because it's fucking
But
and it,
when I got this on VHS, I used to just like play it in the background when my friends came over and we'd be smoking bongs and stuff. And I would just kind of like leave it low. It was just like a fun thing that just always have like on a loop in my house. So I played the hell out of it, but we didn't pay attention to it. It was like, oh wait, he's gonna beat up Frankenstein now, you know. It was funny watching you could totally see the stunt doubles for everybody. It looks like Gene's the only one that kind of did a few of the stunts that aren't even really stunts. It's like a little bit
that
of fighting.
yeah, the part where he breaks through the wall. That I'm not sure if breaking through the wall was Gene, but everything after that was Gene, like picking up the guy and the guy
Yeah,
hit.
he seemed like he tried to be in it the most. Like where there's times where, you know, like Paul's got to put his arms up just to block like a fake. Paul couldn't do that. You could totally see it's a different guy in there. It's like you couldn't just put your arm up. Like it wasn't like a dangerous stunt, you know. It kind of reminds me of like when I watched the old Star Trek episodes, and they would always have this stunt guy do everything for William Shatner, and it would be like these goofy like the Gorn doing like a slow motion thing. It's like, why couldn't William Shatner just done the scene? He wasn't going to get hurt in that scene, you know? That's how I felt about watching the Kiss movie. I was like, there's the stunt double again. And they're just like Peter Chris. It's like, it's the doubles in there more than he is in the movie, it seems, you know? You constantly see that guy with like the gray hair fucking running around and shit. You know?
Really bad wig on the Peter stunt double, and
Yeah.
Paul's stunt double had way too much chest hair, way too much. And
That was
I,
probably the main thing that they put out in the calling cast for the stunt double. It's like we need a hairy chest, like a bunch of hairy fucking guys.
it looks like they plastered hair on that dude. That was not normal to somebody that hairy.
so
But
I'm looking on Internet Movie Database at some of these actors. Like you had the hoodlums, you had Chopper, Slime, and Dirty D,
you
and
know, you know, and another thing, this is an awesome movie that Chopper was in. He got a cameo. You guys ever seen a movie called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde Together Again?
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard of it. Yeah, yeah.
Remember the guy that got his balls clipped and then he walked out after again, and then Dr. Jekyll hits him in the ball. He goes, "Watch it, buddy." That was Chopper. Because when I was watching, I just watched Dr. Jekyll like last week. When I was watching the Kiss Me Some Phantom last night, I was like, "Oh shit, that's the dude from."
Well, he was in. He played a special forces guy in Close Encounters. He was in Streets of
yeah.
Fire. He was in 48 Hours.
He was in Twilight Zone, the movie. Married with
Least
Children. He was in later on. 18, Charlie's Angels, Dukes of Hazzard. A lot of the actors were in a lot of those same shows too. Because I did that too. I went through the casting on Wikipedia just to see because they're familiar faces, but you're wondering, oh yeah, what other good movies were they in? And
Dirty D
that
was
the
in
main the
Coneheads.
the main evil inventor there, the mad scientist, he was in Cool Hand Luke, or the Omega Man, Mega Man.
Oh
He
yeah,
had like he
he
was the
Omega
main
Man.
like evil guy. Yeah,
Omega
in the
Man.
Dead Zone, Star Trek Insurrection, The Matrix Reloaded, Mission Impossible, Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Kung Fu, Little House on the Prairie, Columbo, Tales from the Crypt. Um, then that other guy, the guard that I think you guys talked about before, like he's in like a ton of stuff. The park guard there, but he was in
oh
Blade
Byron
Runner,
James,
Enemy
yeah,
Mine. Yeah,
yeah, Byron James.
Brian Howard
He's
James. Yeah,
in yeah, Brian James, not Byron. But yeah, he was in tons of stuff, man. He died a few years ago.
yeah,
Yeah, but he was in
yeah,
tons. He always played bullies or some
yeah. He was always like the good
bodyguards.
guy, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
he's
And
in TV. He
Sam
did everything on TV. A ton of
Sam
TV
was in
roles.
Young and the Restless. That was it. But
Yeah, that was
Melissa,
a good
Deborah
pick.
Ryan, she was in a ton of stuff. I mean, she was on tons of TV shows, Chips, BJ and the Bear. She was on Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
That
I
was a
just remember that.
Sid and Marty Croft show.
Yeah, you see like the
Yeah.
trailer for it every now and again, but I don't actually remember it being on. But I see it every now and again. I was like, what happened to this show? It looked like it'd be a big
Yeah.
hit, you know, but
Man, those
came and
Croft
went.
shows are great. They had the Croft Super Show, and once again, the Kiss influence came in because they had the Croft Super Show had Captain Cool and the Kongs, and they were a rock band, and they wore makeup and stuff. They were a glam looking band. They looked more like Sweet or Slade than they did Kiss, of course, but that was the thing back then,
You
you
guys,
know.
you guys were talking about that Carmine guy he played in Godfather 2 and 3. Do you know he was like he was the first actor ever kicked out of the Academy Awards motion pictures and arts group, where they were the ones that get to vote on like who should get the Academy Award. Like a lot of actors or all and directors get to be put in there. But he was the first one to get kicked out because he had a VHS that it leaked out to the public, and I guess each VHS had like a number thing on the bottom, and it led back to him. So he was in the Academy Awards voting group thing, and he got kicked out because it traced back to him. So that was just a weird little tidbit about
Now
that
that's
Carmine
what they told you, but really they came to him and said, "Carmine, you were in Kiss Meets the Phantom. Out of here, get.
guy. You can't be in this group.
You can't be in this." Yeah,
That shit makes him more of a badass.
yeah,
Fuck the Academy Awards. I've been pissed at them. I've been pissed at them when they didn't give the Oscar to Sylvester Stallone for the first Rocky. You know, he was nominated for that shit. It won Best
shit.
Picture, but still, because the guy, and he was a great actor. I forget his name. He was in Network. He won. I'm not gonna take it no more. That was a great, great job he did in Network. Well, great. Rocky was better, but now Rocky is looked down upon as like Sylvester Stallone's not a good actor. Bitch, that's one of the greatest actors ever, ever is Sylvester Stallone. That
He
motherfucker
was
can
only in a couple. He was only in a couple movies before that. He was in a Death Race 2000,
love the
and
man.
that what was the gang movie he was in? Fuck,
Uh,
with the
Lord,
Fonz.
Lord
You
of the
know?
Oh,
Flat.
the Lord's of
Yeah,
Flatbush.
Lord of Flatbush.
And he had
Besides that, I think that's all I know.
And
he
who
had
else was in Death Race 2000? Wendy Dio.
giving Sylvester Stallone a massage. The scene where Sylvester Stallone's getting a massage, that's Wendy Dio.
Yeah.
It's Wendy
Huh.
Dio, you know? And she said when she was doing it that Sylvester Stallone was telling her, yeah, I wrote this script about a boxer. I'm going to try to get it done. I think he's one of the greatest actors ever, ever. Watch
Oh
Fist.
yeah.
It was a flop, but a Copland. Fucking guy's awesome, man. But fuck all that.
First Blood is the fucking
Yeah,
shit. First
that's
Blood
what
is
I
the
was
fucking
about to
thing.
say. Forget all that critical killer shit he did. Go to the First Blood movie. That movie. Guy hardly talks. He doesn't need to talk. That's a fucking actor. Let it go, or I'll give you a war you never seen. Fuck that. Nobody can grip you like that. Not even Arnold, man. Sylvester Stallone's a fucking
I
and you know what? Everybody knew what a great actor he was, but then when he became too big with Rocky, everybody started to make fun of him. Like he's not a good actor. He never was nominated again, but they nominated him when nobody was goofing on him yet. But anyway, back to Kiss.
Tulsa King. Watch Tulsa King. It's awesome.
Oh, I love Tulsa King. I haven't seen the last couple seasons though. I
I
saw
haven't watched
It's
it yet.
only, it's,
It's good.
yeah,
It
it's
is good,
great.
huh?
It's great.
season one
I've been
was
thinking about watching.
yeah, season one was great, so I got to catch up on the other ones. I don't own Paramount, so that's the bummer part. But I'll find a way. Always find a way.
They're probably on
They
that
should have made
bit
a series about his
that
over the top character. That over the
that
top
bit
character. They should have did a
whatever
whole
that
series about
website
that.
torrent is. It's probably on there. You can probably find it.
Yeah, the one, two, three movie,
Bit shoot or whatever. Yeah.
one, two, three movies. I find a
Yeah.
lot. I found those Hulu metal shows were there, you know. But
Yep.
anyway, so what's up, Peanut Gallery? You guys anything to say this week?
Oh yeah, people been talking about the movie and stuff. Human Canine. Yeah, he saw big. He knows Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Yeah, so we're not. I'm not the only person who remembers that show. Um, did Kiss ever release a version of for the song they did in the movie called "Rip and Destroy"? And that it's just a bootleg versions out. They've never put it on a box set or anything like that. For
It's gonna be in the vault too, I heard.
Yeah.
You get it. With a B
yeah,
side of Eric Singer singing Beth.
yeah, yeah. Zach Fishy said he got a copy off Amazon. Great picture and sound. Yep, yep. Rutherford 12 says the best part of the concert is watching all of the people flipping off the cameras in the crowd. I've never noticed that.
Well, that's
Wow.
like it, when they're doing that song "Rip and Destroy." They're supposed to be all pissed off, and they're. I didn't realize that they were
There
giving
was that one guy in the crowd that was going like this.
him.
That song was really upsetting him. He's like
What
that guy
about that?
that guy should have won an award.
Yeah.
What
Best
about
supporting
that
actor.
scene where they're by the pool again, and like the cops go over to the side to start talking about like what they're gonna do and stuff, and then Paul looks at him with his eye, and it's like his laser eye goes to him, and then all of a sudden he could like hear, like it
Here
made his eye somehow made him hear
makes him
better.
here.
He could eavesdrop. He could eavesdrop better with his special eyeball.
Yeah, he's just sweating it, Gene. And he's like,
You're looking for someone, but it's not Kiss. That was my answering service for when you used to have like an answering machine back in the day. That was mine when it rang and it phone asked says you're looking for someone, but it's not Kiss. It was Paul from the movie.
I did I did an Ace. They took it down, but it's up on BitChute. A review of the first Ace Frehley solo album, and I'm always talking about how that album shits all over the other three albums. Well, this one, oh yeah. So let's talk about the Ace Frehley solo album, and I cut to the scene in Kiss Meets the Phantom where Paul goes, "Ahoy, mates! The ownership approaches." And then I go into the album.
That's awesome.
That's the perfect line. Ahoy, mates, the ownership. We're about to get owned by the Ace Frehley solo album. Yeah.
Polito says hello from Madrid, Spain. Yeah, we got a watcher in Spain. That's awesome.
And that's where,
Metal is huge in Spain.
all us Cubans really come from Spain. I don't know the connection, but España, but I got relatives in Spain too. There's relatives I know that from Cuba they went to Spain instead of America. Weird.
Modern Day Warrior asks, didn't someone try to make a movie about the elder? Wasn't it financed and
Yeah.
everything? They talked about it in that book.
No,
Yeah.
but there's a commercial for it, but it's never. They did a trailer for it, but I'm figuring they did the trailer for it before the movie was made. But it's very well filmed. It shows like pastures and and like kind of like castle looking places, you know. But it shows a little boy and the elder guy. You can see it's probably still on YouTube.
You
Um,
know, I had a conversation with a coworker recently about movies, about how much stuff gets remade. They Hollywood simply run out of ideas if you think about it. And I was like, man, there's so many cool songs out there that they can make in albums, especially metal albums, they can make movies out of, like The Elder or King Diamond Abigail or the Them Saga or something, you know?
no, I mean,
Clockwork Angels.
Yeah.
with the right director and a right script writer, them could be one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Because that has the potential of being like a Shining, like one
Yeah.
of those type of fucked up movies, you know, with grandma. I mean, that shit's a lot of King Diamond, yeah, Abigail, even Fatal Portrait, it's
I
not.
think what brought it up was we were listening to just a random mix, and Uncle Tom's Cabin by Warrant came on. I said, that's a good story in that. That could make a good made-for-TV movie. And then we just started talking about all the movies that come out that they constantly remake, and there's this all. And I was telling because my coworker didn't know a lot about the King Diamond stories and stuff, and I was just kind of sharing that with him. But yeah, it's amazing, man. All the stuff that's out there that could be good storylines for TV and movies. Yeah, they got
Yes.
to do a. They're going to do a Psycho Circus movie next. That's it. Creatures of the Night.
You never know. There may be an elder movie made. I mean, way after we're dead. But maybe 100 years from now, people will wake up, man. Like all you people that don't like the elder, you're wrong. You're so it's an awesome. It's fucking incredible. So let the next generation figure out what you couldn't.
I've
And
got to sync this up with the Phantom movie and see how it works.
I'm
Just
gonna
never thought about it.
I'm gonna think up the mentors you asked for it. The kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll work. That'll work for sure.
Did you guys mention how Wally World was filmed? Like they used Wally World, the same park, um, when they did Phantom of the Park. They also that's where on Vacation movie they went to the same park that they disguised it as Wally World. And I guess in Bill and
Oh,
Ted's like
Vacation.
Excellent Adventure, yeah, the Vacation movie that Wally World was the same park, the Six Flags there,
Yeah,
and then
I was about to say I was there in '85. I think it was a Six Flags by then.
huh.
I
Oh, so
think
you were actually at that park.
I was actually there in 1985. Yes.
Oh wow, wow, that's cool.
There's a picture on the back of the box of Gene fighting one of the space monkeys.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's like what the hell is that? Is it a werewolf? Is it a cat man? It looks kind of like a cat man to me. I don't know what the hell they are, but I like the part where its head gets ripped off and Ace goes, "Hey, Paul, they're always losing their head over you," or something like that. He says,
yeah. There's an animated video
Yeah.
for Ace Frehley doing "I'm Down" from the Origins. It's an animated video, and in the animated video, there's the space monkeys. There's like two or three of them. When the video's over and they roll the credits, it says Ralph Vieira is one of the space monkeys.
"Why would it say that?"
Because the guy that made the video knows me, and
Oh,
he put me as a spaceman, as what is it, a space monkey, whatever. You watch the credits and it goes Space Monkey, Ralph Vieira, and then I guess two other of his friends were the other two space monkeys. Ah,
Oh, you're part of history, man.
yeah, I'm part of the Kiss thing now. But I mean,
History.
unfortunately, I was wearing my Space Monkey outfit during it, and they animated me too on top of that.
so the original Kiss comic, they fought Doctor Doom, but in the second one, it was an all new villain. That would have been a cool movie. They just based it on something like that. I mean, and of course they got the Talisman in the comics and stuff as well. Um, and Kiss Me to Phantom came out after the comic, so I guess they tried to make the talisman in the box in the film look a lot, pretty much like they look in the comic. You know, they open up the box and that weird music plays, and they're sitting there glowing. But
Beethoven fifth.
I'm really surprised Kiss never has officially released the talisman as merchandise. Like you could buy the towel.
Yeah.
I've seen fake ones made. It was a Kiss convention I went to once, and someone had a replica set on display that were beautifully done. But I'm surprised they've never come out with those. You could get them, you know, in a set.
It's going to be in the vault too,
Oh
coming soon.
no, that's actually it. Might be in the Vault 3.
You know what I did see once that was very impressive? Some guy made a box out of the Elder, made it look like the door. It was really well done with the little knocker and everything, like the Elder.
Wow. Well, they talk about in the book about the elder door that they made. I mean, it was miniaturized. I mean, it was. I mean, it's full scale, but it wasn't a full door. In other words, but yeah,
You
and
know,
that's
I
not Paul, and it's not Paul's hand. Who was it? The photographer had someone's hand. It
I
wasn't
don't know.
Paul's hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people say it was Paul's hand. Some people say it wasn't. I think Paul said it was his hand. I think.
Of course he
think it
did.
was a stunt double. It was a stunt double because he went chip his
Well,
fingernail
we
off
would
on
know
it.
it wasn't Ace's stunt double for sure. We know that for a fact.
I don't think we mentioned Ace's stunt double was black. I don't think we mentioned that earlier. We talked about every other stunt double except Ace's. He was a
He was
black.
an African Jindal.
I
Exactly.
didn't notice it when I first watched it as a kid, and Ace does like right away he does this like crazy backflip with the fucking boots on, and I was like, man, these guys are like really good athletes, you
They're
know. I
so
thought it was all real as a kid.
they're so
As an
amazing.
8-year-old, they were
Hey,
just incredible.
hey, Ralphus and I did a show last night, right? And in the show, the Kiss Dress to Kill box set came up. And I was like, fuck that, man. I want it bad, but $400 is way too much.
Is that really what it cost?
Yeah.
Wow.
And those
You know, I
prices
was
I sent
hoping.
you that joke thing that was like 700. That was the pre-order thing. Like you could get it for $730 or whatever, you know. But that
Well,
was
you know
real. That
that
was on eBay.
the Alive box is supposed to be out by the end of the year. So they've got two box sets coming out right at the tail end of the
Yeah,
year.
because this box set has two of the shows that were used for Alive. So the Alive box set's going to have the other shows. I understand. But anyway,
Well, I listen to them online. You can stream it for free. That's good enough for me.
I can tell you this. Watching the show last night was my good buddy J Man. And I spoke about J Man last night because J Man got me tickets to see Metallica at that Johnny Z show. He got me the Injustice for All box set. He got me the Creatures of the Night box set. Well, he was watching last night and he texted me today going, hey, I'll see what I can do about the Dress to Kill box set. I was like,
Cool.
You put that out there like, oh, I hope he's
I,
watching and he
yeah,
would buy me this
I didn't,
for me,
I
but
didn't, but seriously, I didn't think he was, you know? I didn't think he
I
even
need
knew about Black Spinner Circle.
I need to be friends with this guy.
Yeah,
I,
I
I'm
can't give
gonna
away.
make a shirt with my address on it and
You
just like
know,
wear it.
Yeah.
you know,
Send freebies here.
it's even funnier. Yeah, he told me, just call me J Man. His first name doesn't even start with a J, but he wants me to call him J Man. So hey, he didn't say he was gonna get it for me. He said I'll see what I can do. So
There's so much stuff that comes out, man. And I mean, like I said, I listened to it on. It was all we could listen to all of it on. I stream music with YouTube Music at work, and I listen to all the demo tracks and the instrumental tracks and stuff. Wasn't all that, you know, shocking to hear or anything. It's just basically the track without vocals. But the live stuff was good. I listened to it. It was you're getting it raw. I mean, that's not it's not the they went back in the studio and basically re-recorded it live. But it's raw. You're getting it just like it originally was recorded. So that's kind of cool, you know. But
Except for the drums. All drums on Kiss Live is live. All Peter
That
yeah,
that's the thing with a lot of those live albums. I think like Unleashed in the East, it was the same thing. Like the drums were live, and then they had to go in and do like so much other work
yeah. I heard that
on top of
they
it.
redid a couple of solos and they did all of Rob's vocals.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
his
So,
vocals.
I
He was
heard
sick at the time.
I heard the music itself was minimum, but Halford
yeah.
sang the whole album. And according to Halford, he did it all in one take, like if he was singing a concert. You
Yeah.
know?
Or
Next
else it
year
would
I
just
will
sound like another
probably
studio recording. If he didn't do it that way, it would just sound like another studio recording, you know.
Right.
next year I will probably splurge and buy the Rock and Roll Over box set if there is one, just because it's my favorite record.
I'll
Yeah.
never pay that much for a box set or anything. I just don't have the money to be spending half
Yeah,
my rent
man,
on.
things are so expensive. Did you see the cost of Maiden tickets? Woo! They're like
Yeah, it's
rush
fucking
tickets.
ridiculous. Yeah, I've seen them back when they were fucking better with, you know, and I don't really care about
Younger.
Megadeth and Anthrax. That doesn't make me want to pay an extra $300 for Megadeth and Anthrax. I mean, it's just too much for the way they're doing these shows like that. For $100, I'd go. Um, yeah, anything over that for these bands that I've seen plenty of times before, it's just stupid, you know.
Here's something we got to look up, guys. Um, Rome Like Cain posted in the Peanut Gallery here. There's a black Paul Stanley in a Kiss cover band. There's the Gene character, I guess, in that band got possessed and burned his house down. It's in a documentary. So Rome Like Mike, can you tell us the name of the documentary? Because I got to look that out. Got to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know that. I've never even heard of that. I'd love to see that.
Have you seen the video of there's a band out of Minnesota called Hairball, and they have two lead singers and they change costumes and they have the band plays, and their Paul Stanley. There's a video of their Paul Stanley's hair caught on fire, his wig
Oh,
Oh
caught
that's
on
yeah,
fire when the
yeah.
pyro
I've
goes
seen
up.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guys and yeah, Mike, the guy named Mike is the guitar player. I used to know him years ago. He was actually in the original Fozzy before they kind of became what they are now, and he's the one beating his freaking the guy's hair out. He's trying to get his hair to stop burning. But I'd love to see that band sometime. But they only play in that little kind of that area, so they'll never come down this way. But pretty entertaining group.
We got that band Psycho Circus around here that I had the Paul guy do a video for Ralph saying get well and stuff, you know. But
oh yeah.
Yeah,
the Ace character in that band, he looks like him and he just nails it, man. He's fucking amazing. And it's really incredible to watch any video of that guy. He looks like a young Ace up there playing, and he hits every note. It's perfect, you know. Real fun to see. You get drunk at a good tribute band, and you forget. Like I remember seeing a tribute band. I think they were called Kiss Army back in the '90s, and it was before I had seen Kiss with the makeup on. So it's
I
like I
saw
never
them.
thought they were gonna I never thought they were gonna ever reunite or anything. So I was like, man, Kiss with makeup, this is gonna be fun. It was actually a Rock Fantasies like ninth anniversary show. And we went and we just got plastered and they played all the classic Kiss songs that we never got to hear back in the day. And we had the greatest time. We were moshing around the pit like it was Slayer or something, you know. It was fucking so much fun. But then we get to see a couple of years later, we got to see finally Kiss with the makeup and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you, Count. That's the way I would go see those Kiss tribute bands. We had Strutter and Kiss Army that used to come around this area, and I believe Andrew French was the guy that did Peter Criss and Kiss Army for a while. He ended up Strutter later, but Andrew was Peter Criss's stunt double in the Detroit Rock City movie. Basically, he would just sit in Peter's place when Peter wasn't there. I don't think he's actually in anything. Sadly, Andrew passed away, I think last year. Last time I saw him back in 2020 during the pandemic, a friend of mine had a party in his backyard. It was outside, and he had Strutter play in his backyard, and Andrew was playing drums for him then. Yeah, some of those tributes are really good. Yeah, that was fun to see back in the day because
Talking
that
about
was the only
tribute
way
bands,
that was the only way you could see Kiss with makeup and during that to experience that because we had Kiss the non-makeup period going on.
I can't remember the one I saw. I think it was Strutter or Mr. Speed. One of those two I saw.
Mr. Speed are amazing. I've never seen them in person, but I've watched. There was a whole video of them on YouTube. Pro shot. They've got the Dynasty stage, and the guy does the Eric Carr instead of Peter Chris, and they're wearing the Dynasty costumes. It's fucking amazing, man. And they do All American Man, and they play stuff off the solo records, and God, it's really good. If you're
Yeah,
gonna do it,
talking about
I
tribute,
kind of I
talking
kind
about
of get
tribute
sick of
bands.
tribute bands, but those guys do it right.
Well, talking about tribute bands, this weekend is Rock Fantasy celebrating its 40th anniversary. The store has been around since 1985, and he's got like a whole day, like 7 bands playing, and the headliners are a band called Show No Mercy, which is a Slayer tribute band that I've seen a few times already, and then Sabbath Superstars is the headliner, and they were Into the Void, and now they call it Sabbath Superstars because they got a new Ozzy, and this guy like looks just like Ozzy and stuff, and they're really fucking good. And I've seen the Into the Void band a couple times. We've had the guy Tom on with me and Tony on Rock Fantasy Files a bunch of times, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's gonna be like a big party and stuff. And Pete Pardo is gonna be there, and all those guys. A bunch of the Sea of Tranquility people and shit. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Looking
man, I wish
forward
I
to
could
it.
come up for that. Johnny was talking about possibly coming up for it. I don't know if they ever made a decision, but it's just
Yeah, he
bad
never got
timing
in
for
touch with me
me.
about it.
Yeah, it's bad timing for me this weekend to try to take off to go. But yeah, that would have been so cool. I wish I could have done it.
It's cool because they're gonna do like a Halloween like thing too, because it's the day after Halloween, so people be dressing up and stuff. And I actually got like a pretty cool costume that I'll be wearing, but you'll see pictures. I'll send them to you.
Are you going as Tommy Thayer as Ace Frehley?
I don't want to give it up yet.
Fake Frehley.
I'm gonna be half Tommy Thayer and half Eric
Half
Singer.
Ace Frehley.
I'll do
That would
some
be crazy.
whiskers.
I saw some great Halloween costumes the last few weeks or whatever, just online. But one of them I saw today cracked me up. Was someone did like one of those half one person, half the other. They were Weird Al Jurgensen. So they look like Al from Ministry, and the other half they look like Weird Al Yankovic. Pretty
I
cool.
see a bunch of those fake ones, like the Spirit Halloween ones, but they just make them online and make like a fake one. The one was like a record collector, and it's like he's got thousands of albums that he doesn't actually have a
yeah,
record
yeah,
player,
yeah.
but it's like,
Has little
and he'll talk
descriptions. I've
talk
seen it.
about analog all the time, stuff,
Yeah, I saw
and
one
little
today.
descriptions on side.
I saw one today. It said Ace Frehley and showed a picture of Tommy Thayer, and there was no descriptions on
Yeah, I've seen another one where it's like the guy trying to return or bring records to a record store, but they're like this old crap that he found in someone's attic, and they're all moldy and stuff.
it.
And it's like you had the little things on the side and says like, we'll complain that you're not buying his records. And at the end, it's like he leaves his records on the curb when he leaves the store after the person doesn't buy him. He just leaves out there like for free, because he can't
That
get
happened to
money for
me.
him.
Some guy brought me some crappy beat up records to look at through, and I told him I didn't want any of it. He just left them.
You gotta take that shit home and walk with it. Yeah, just fucking leave
I
it out
didn't.
there.
I don't want to touch them. They were nasty. We threw them away. But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, man. Halloween this weekend, guys.
My brother's birthday's on Halloween,
Oh wow.
and he was born right there where Sleepy Hollow is. Ain't that weird?
That
That is
place is
weird.
hopping at Halloween time. That's like almost like that's New York Salem at Halloween time. That place is like
That's where I
pretty
was born.
hopping right now.
was born there,
Hey,
Terrytown.
talking about the Phantom really quick is I on Sunday I went to see the original 19 I forget what year it is now, but the original Phantom the Opera, Lon Chaney Sr. I seen it in
Mhm.
this really old theater that was built in like 1908, and it's like they had the guy had a Wurlitzer big organ there, and he did all the organ accompaniment with the movie. But it was just really incredible. It was cool just to see that old movie in this old theater on the big screen. I never seen the fan. I seen Nosferatu the same way years ago. They had the guy playing the organ, but it was just incredible. Like I couldn't take my eyes off the guy playing the organ because he's playing for an hour and a half, over an hour and a half straight. Like, like you see, it's like playing a guitar solo for an hour and a half straight. Like this guy is just fucking working and working. He's never looking at the screen, but it's all lined up perfectly, and you can see him flipping the pages for his music that he's reading. But it's just like an incredible thing because I don't read music or no, but it's just amazing. Like you're reading the notes or whatever, but you also got to know the time of when how to hold something so long. Or so I guess it's all in the note in the music notes like that. But it's just incredible. The guy was like, there's a time where the Phantom gets on the organ and he hits it, and I could see the guy's not watching, but he's just like right on it. He's hitting like he's doing like a soundtrack the whole time, but now he's playing the organ that the Phantom is playing on in the movie. It was just really fucking cool. So it's just cool, kind of weird that I seen that on Sunday, and now we're talking about Phantom of the Park, which is a totally different kind of Phantom, but I seen the original Phantom of the Opera this week, which was really cool.
And you got Phantom of the Paradise, Ralph's favorite movie.
I'm a
Yeah.
fanatic. I am a fanatic about that movie. You know, I
Hey,
saw. Uh,
the Rutherford put up he actually he found a I mean Rome Like Cain found a link to that tribute movie. I just copied it and put it in our chat so we can check that movie out he was talking
right on,
about.
Cool.
right on, cool. Yeah,
I didn't mean to cut you off, Ralph. What'd you say about the about Phantom of the Paradise?
yeah, no, it's a total timeline thing because I'll never forget. It was a Sunday. Me and my friend went to the movies to see whatever was showing, and they were showing that. So we watched Phantom of the Paradise, and I loved it so much. Me and my friend loved it so much. We went back the following weekend. I was 9 years old at this time, and we went to go see it again. And it was already out of theaters because it bombed so bad. And not that long ago, I saw a post where somebody wrote, "What is the worst movie you ever seen?" I saw a guy write, "Phantom of the Paradise." Now I understand that because it is a timeline thing, but my God, that movie to me is godly. It's my favorite soundtrack of all time. It covers many genres. There's even heavy. It's a 1974 soundtrack, but there's three, well, really two and a half metal songs on there. Someone Like You, Life at Last are total metal songs, and Hell of It starts off pretty heavy, then goes little piano-y. But I fucking love it. I love that movie. A fanatic. I got it on Blu-ray, DVD, VHS. The soundtrack. I have the original soundtrack I bought in 1974, which I still have, but it's unplayable. And I found a limited edition, only 1,000 made of a 180-gram version of Phantom
Oh
of the.
wow.
So yeah, I got that, and I retired my Snap, Crackle, and Pop vinyl, and and I have also the first thing I ever bought online was Phantom of the Paradise on CD, and that's been out of print forever, and that's very expensive. But yeah,
That clip I shared the other day of Paul Williams singing at Dracula's Castle on the Hardy Boys Nancy Drew episode. That's pretty cool, man. That song he's doing is really,
that's
really dark and evil sounding.
that's what ends Phantom of the Paradise. That's the song during the credits.
Okay.
And
So
that's
he did it on, yeah, because that was all around the same time period, wasn't it? When
yeah.
it all
He was also on the Brady Bunch uh, network special, variety show, doing the
he
same.
played. Oh, okay. I thought maybe he played the adult cousin Oliver.
Yeah.
because he kind of looked like
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
And I got to meet him because Gloria Estefan's son used to play movies at some place, and somehow or another they were able to get Paul Williams to come down, and they were going to screen Phantom of the Paradise, and Paul Williams was going to be a special guest. That night, I booked the show. Combat, my other band, Combat, was playing that night, and I told the promoters when we got there, I go, dude, we got to open the show. We got to get out of here. We got to open the show, And we did because we were higher on the bill. We weren't headlining, but I think we were second to last. But they let us open, and we hauled ass, and I got to meet Paul Williams. I took a picture of him. Had him sign my Phantom of the Paradise vinyl, where he wrote on the back, "Trust me, Paul Williams." So if you know the movie, you know what "trust me" means. And
That
I
He was in
documentary,
Planet
there's a
of the Apes
documentary
too,
about
right?
him.
yeah, he was
I
in
think
Yeah.
and,
Dr. Zayas, right?
and also that scene in Smoking the Bandit Part 3 that I'm in, he's in that scene. He's in the balcony.
Linus.
He's throwing dollars out, and I'm catching him down the street. And I remember seeing him that day, and I was a little kid. I was too embarrassed to go up to him. I wanted to and go, "My God, I love Phantom of the Paradise," but I didn't. I kind of like froze, But yeah, I'm in the scene with him, so yeah, I got some connections. I'm even in the
That's cool.
Paul Williams. But
It's
Yeah.
yeah,
funny how, like, when you're saying, like, how, it's such an important movie to you. You've seen it in the theater, you loved it and everything. And then another guy will be like, "Oh, it's the worst movie I ever seen." It's like, say, people tonight watching this episode, and we're talking about how much fun we think Phantom of the Park is. And it's like, we have like it's a nostalgia thing kind of
yeah.
with us. But like, if you're watching it and you're a 25-year-old right now watching the movie for the first time, you'd be like, "What the fuck is this? This is just retarded." Like I don't know if they can enjoy it the way we can, but it's the same thing with I remember talking to somebody who's like acts like they're a big movie critic. I don't want to say who, but from another YouTube channel, and they were like, they were talking about the Trick or Treat movie, but they were talking about that they like the newer Trick or Treat movie. And I was like, "Yeah, but the original Trick or Treat with Ozzy and Gene Simmons." And he was like, "Oh, that movie sucks." And I was like, "What? That's a classic." But this guy's younger and he thinks he's like a movie critic. But he like shit on it. And then it's like, all right, I'm not gonna argue because
No,
it's stupid to argue over
you
opinions,
got
but
But you got to understand. Look, so he's like he sees stuff that we love and thinks they're crap, but we all don't like the bestiality movies he likes. You know what I'm saying? He's into bestiality stuff. I'm not, but that's his thing. He likes that. We have different
yeah.
tastes. We like Skippy from Family Ties. He likes seeing a horse get sucked off.
Yeah.
We're different. We're different people.
It's just crazy, like the way people's opinions are and stuff, but that's what's great about doing shows like this and talking about what we like and don't like about stuff. But we a lot of us get along good because we liked a lot of the same stuff
Yeah,
and we have
man.
like a past with it.
Right.
We
Yep.
don't get so touchy if you don't like what we like. It's
Yeah,
okay.
you
Like
love
just like what dislike. You know what I mean? But
you love Michael Jackson. I can't stand him.
there
I
you go,
hate
man.
him.
I love Off
But
the Wall. To me, is like the perfect, greatest disco album ever. But you probably don't like disco either, right?
not at all.
Yeah.
To me, it was disco rock rules, disco jewels. That's the
Well,
that's
hey,
the
hey,
world I came from.
that's how I was. Trust me, Ralph. I had a shirt that had disco ball exploding with a skull under it, and it said "Death Before Disco." I was all for that, but I don't know. I changed. I got all fruity later on. You know what though? I'll say something that's not popular though. I still don't see the appeal of Saturday Night Fever the movie. It's it's love, man. Even Gene Siskel, he bought the white suit that John Travolta, and that guy's a major film critic, one of the greatest movies ever. I don't get it myself. I thought Blowout was a great John Travolta movie, very
You know
under.
what? When I used to watch Siskel and Ebert, and I used to fucking, if they cried and hated a movie, I wanted to go see it. That's how my opinion with their opinions were. Like I see them two fucking lame motherfuckers fucking shit on a fucking, especially horror. They shit on every horror movie. It's like the more they cried, the more I wanted to go see it, you know. And it would usually be something I would love because they hated it. So that's how you know critics could be good even if you don't agree with them, but if you know why they hate things and things that you like, you know,
Yeah,
fuck them guys.
it's like, I don't consider myself a critic, because critics don't say shit like, hey, look, it's my opinion. I'm not telling anybody. Critics kind of
Yeah,
like throw it down your throat, like,
yeah.
they think it's religion. What I
They're
think is,
like they're like snobs about it, and they act like they're experts, and you're
uh,
wrong because you didn't go to film school and learn about the fucking lighting, and you don't even know what a key grip guy does on the fucking. Who gives a fuck? You know what you like, and you know what you don't like, and
they have
that's all
no
that matters.
idea how great an actor Sylvester Stallone is. Not in one iota. They probably disliked First Blood. You know,
The guy made a movie about arm wrestling. He bring arm wrestling almost like to become a national sport and stuff. And then, Rhinestone with Dolly Parton. The guy could do anything.
you know what? I did like Rhinestone though. I'll admit. I love that movie. It's so stupid. I hated stopping my mother's shoot. That was terrible. And yeah, and the Harlem Wrestling movie was kind of bad. Didn't help that
And
Seth did the theme song. But
I like that song though.
Rhinestone, I liked. I liked it. I thought it was a funny movie. I haven't seen it forever. I should order it. I should get it. I doubt it's on 4K. I think it was a bomb. I did recently get the Rocky movies on 4K, and I highly recommend who didn't see this. I thought it was way better. Rocky 4, the redone version, because they redid it. 100 times better than the first one. I didn't like Rocky 4 that much. I love the fight and everything, but the robot with Paulie, all that stupid shit, they cut it all out of the movie. And they have scenes that they cut out of the original movie into this. It flows much better. Drago's even meaner. It's
I
fucking
remember
awesome.
watching like a documentary about it. Didn't they have like a making of that was like something you could watch? It was like on something, but I remember watching like a whole documentary about Sylvester Stallone fixing the movie or
Yeah,
whatever,
he did. And Lucky,
I don't even remember that movie. The
that was
third one's when he fought Dolph Lundgren, right?
no Mr. T.
Mr.
Yeah,
T was the third one. Which one was Dolph Lundgren?
that was
Fourth.
the fourth one.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's the one. Okay, okay.
that's the one
They re like worked it and like
way
Ralph was
better.
saying they did. There's like a whole documentary on why
Yeah,
they did it and everything. But I think I watched the whole documentary and never actually watched the final film of how they redid it. But
I
I
bought
gotta
the
check it out.
4K. I bought the 4K box set, and it brought that disc has the option: watch the original or watch this. I was like, oh shit, I haven't seen this new version. Let me check it out. And I was blown away how good it was because they cut out all the stupid parts and it flowed really well. It had great scenes that were cut out of the original. It was very. I mean, I'm not a fan of him driving around with music because it's like an MTV music video, and that's how MTV was so huge in the day. You see, I mean, the montage is cool of
Yeah.
the going on, but him driving around with whoever the fuck was some Survivor song or something. I could do
That was
that.
probably some Frank Stallone fucking songs,
Frank
probably,
Stallone, yeah.
My favorite villain was Mr. T, hands
Oh
down.
yeah. Oh, he was scary, man. As a kid, man, he
Oh,
fucking calling him out with his wife there, saying what he's gonna do with his wife. He was like Mike
woman,
Tyson, but he was Mike Tyson before fucking Mike Tyson,
yeah.
you know.
He's a fun. I loved him. Mr. T was
But then
awesome.
he got overexposed, and you seen him in the A team, and all of a sudden he was like, he's not fucking,
He
he ain't
pities the
that
fool.
dangerous.
But he was he
Oh
was
shit! There you go. Wow,
he
that's
was my
awesome.
he was my favorite villain, and my favorite fight was Rocky 2. Rocky 2 was my favorite fight. That shit was wild. But I love even Rocky 5. That really sucked. I liked it. and
Yeah.
Rocky 6 was kind of redeeming. Rocky 5 was terrible. Rocky 5 is the kiss of the Rocky movie.
Yeah.
There's those Creed movies. There's still Rocky movies out there.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, guys, hey, I think we covered it all, right?
Yeah, man.
We
For
covered
sure.
everything from the peanut gallery too.
The only thing I saw a while ago I thought was pretty funny in here a while ago was Uh, Tim Oit's 334 said, I was 13 and I loved Kiss, and I was embarrassed at 13 when I watched the movie and was embarrassed in front of my family when it aired. He says, I said, it was good, right, Dad? And my dad smiled and walked into the kitchen.
That's
Right,
awesome.
right there, it tells you everything. I was
Yeah.
13
I was
1978.
gonna say, so me and Tony are fucking like 8 or
Yeah,
9
you
Yeah,
got
now at the
we're eight.
time. So
Yeah,
we're like
yeah,
perfect. We had a perfect age. We're
yeah.
Star Wars kids, monster kids, and we're perfect age. If I was 13, I would be like, oh, this is fucking
Yeah, no,
retarded, you know?
me and that kid, we just entered teenhood. We were 13, so we just entered
Yeah.
teen. So we were a little more mature than you 8-year-olds.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
had you had Van Halen 1.
That's right. In February. Well, that came out in February. I got it later on. But hell yeah. Anyway, it's been fun, gentlemen. Tomorrow there will be no Almost Human Live, though there will be an episode tomorrow I'm putting up reviewing the new Halloween album with Wayne Noon. You ever
I know
notice?
Wayne loved it.
Yeah, you ever notice Wayne Noon? We never see him at noon. It's always in the evening. He should be Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Midnight
Well,
Wayne.
he's Bark at the Noon. He's Wayne Bark at the Noon.
But anyway, next week, Rick Ross. I haven't, dude, Rick Ross hasn't even hit me up going, hey, we doing the show tomorrow? I guess he forgot. I'll hit him up during the week. So next week, we're going to have the great Rick Ross. I hope nobody dies so we can have an episode of Rick Ross. And, and I know Ralph is looking forward to that. He's got plenty to show him. And it'll be a lot of fun. He's part of
Yeah,
my
man.
He's part of my favorite Death album, Leprosy, and he had a lot to do with my second favorite, Scream Bloody Gore. So tune in next week, everybody. And thank you all again for tuning in on Kiss Wednesday. There you go, right there. Oh my God, Kiss!
Yes.